Hey guys, welcome to Rising Vibrations. I'm Inga. This reading is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising as well as Venus. This is for those of you who cannot go back to an ex. You don't have the option. You may have broke up recently or years ago. You can't go back, and in fact, you don't really want to go back. You want to move forward, but you can't seem to. You feel like this person has a hold on you. You feel some kind of a bond to this person that you can't quite understand yourself, and you want to break away from the energy. This is for Leo, and we're going to look at why this karmic atmosphere is there for the Leo right now, what they can do to break away from it, what might help. It's for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, why they are still stuck on this ex, why they can't get them out of their mind, and why they can't seem to move on. We have the Six of Cups. The Leo is feeling this energy of that they cannot replace a history that they have with a person. It's almost as if it's not really the person, it's just the fact of history. So for instance, if they spend 5 years or even 1 year, but it feels like a lot of time, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and they went through a lot of experiences with this person, they dread the possibility of having or trying to start over, and they feel like, oh, I spent 5 years with that person, I want to keep that time, I want to keep this experience, versus having to go out with someone else and try to spend 5 years with them. No one can ever reach that, especially if you spent a long time with someone. Time may run out. You may not have 20 years to spend with another person, so on and so forth. But the Leo is really bound up with time, and all the time that they spend and the history with a person is very, very important to them. And this is really what's hanging them up right now. For the other person, what can be the connection on a karmic, energetic, soul level? If there's any twin flame, soul mate issues there. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We have the King of Swords. It seems to me that the Leo was in this aspect alone, in terms of putting so much value and measure on time and on history and on the relationship in that way. The other person wasn't that deep. The other person is a bit more superficial. They're not as deep and as passionate with the Leo in this respect. It's less important to them. And it's more like they wanted the new experience, but I felt like the Leo was very much tied into tradition of things, or the tradition of things, or traditional way of doing things, or rituals even. And the other person just wasn't the same flavor. They didn't have the same style. They didn't have the same taste. It's some kind of conflict in the belief systems, or even how they emotionally express themselves. So it's almost like the Leo may have been in a bit of a power struggle with this other person of trying to get them to see things their way and putting the same value to the same things that the Leo had. There was some type of a cultural conflict even in how things were done in the relationship. And the Leo is bound up with this energy of trying to force someone to change, essentially. Trying to force someone to change or to force their will in all of this. So why is the Leo still stuck? Because they weren't able to achieve that somehow. They're still caught up with wanting to have changed this person, to get them to see things their way. See if anything else is going to come out. We're not going to take those. Was the Lovers, and it was the Queen of Coins. We have the Seven of Cups, so we go from the Six of Cups to the Seven of Cups for the Leo, wanting to see things their way. on many different instances, even wanting to do things their way, bit of a power struggle because the Leo thought they had it right somehow. They were very commanding in how they thought things ought to be. And they're still like this. This hasn't really changed. This hasn't really changed. This dynamic in the relationship hasn't really changed. Even if the person is no longer there, it's almost like the Leo still sees the person as a part of there. That was the Knight of Pentacles. The Leo still sees themselves as being in a relationship with the person. I feel like the person has moved on, but the Leo is still very much in their mind attached to this person and still possibly thinking about how they can keep in contact with the person. But I feel like the person has really cut the Leo off, and this could also be a part of their frustration of why they're still linked to this person, because they can't get the information that they want about what's happening in this person's life. We have now the Knight of Swords with the King of Swords. The person is just really blocked to the Leo, and this can be where the frustration is. The person doesn't really want to have any interaction with the Leo, and the Leo is feeling very much cut off and very much out of control. This is completely frustrating for Leo. So finally, the karmic energy between the two of you, how you can break away. We have the Ten of Cups. So the Six of Cups to the Seven of Cups to the Ten of Cups. So Leo might feel like they can still get this person back or still have some control over their life. Still have a relationship with them, a friendship with them. Maybe the case, but they seem to be quite confident that they can overcome this, even if the person is not in a relationship with them anymore. It's like they feel like the person will always be a part of their life, one way or the other. Leo. We're going to pull one of the tarot and read it too. We have the Two of Swords. So on the other person, do you see how this is really it feels like a very much blocked energy, that the Leo hasn't been able to keep that contact or have that level of intimate contact that they want with the person. And this is really what seems to be hanging them up. A type of blocks of lack of control over the other person in this Two of Swords. But also feeling like, yeah, we had a relationship, but we're always going to have a relationship. I was a part of your life. I will always be a part of your life. I'm never going to let you go, because we have this history. And even if the other person isn't feeling this or thinking this or believing this, it feels like the Leo is not really ready to accept this. So the Leo, in essence, is in a type of denial that they will have to work through in all of this. This is really what I'm getting, that this is why you can't seem to let go and accept that this is over. That might really be where they are in that grieving process, that it can have been years ago, but I feel like they're still very much in denial. We have the Ten of Cups again, guys. I'm going to go ahead and read that for Leo, because obviously it's an important message and all that, that perhaps will help them start to move past this and get over this and get on with their life. Look forward to getting on with their life. You know, you can't force someone to love you. You can't force someone to be with you if they don't want to. And what inside of you would want to do that, Leo? There's no judgment here. I'm just saying. Serenity, peace, good fortune, well-being. All is well with the world and with me. Well-being is my natural state. Everything I need comes to me easily and effortlessly. I feel joy and express it to others as I look around and see all the love that we share. I take pleasure in all I have accomplished, whatever attention I receive or don't receive. I am serene, for I know full well what it took for me to get to where I am. I celebrate myself and all who travel the road with me and feel grateful to Spirit for being my companion always. So perhaps, and what I'm getting is, when and if the Leo decides to put their attention into other aspects of their own life and put the emphasis on them, things can greatly improve in their life in a lot of respects. Because when you're in denial, it's never helpful, because I feel like you can overlook a lot of other aspects of your life and self, and there could be a lot of neglect. So these two tens are telling me that it's time to bring the emphasis for the Leo back to themselves, to get out of that state of denial, to accept that this is over, not to feel like they have to force someone to be in contact with them or to speak with them or want to engage with them just because they need that type of ego reinforcement. It's time to move past this. We're going to go ahead and leave it there. Leo, I hope you enjoyed the reading. It was a bit harsh. We'll see where it goes next time. Take care, guys.